Today's class, we are going to see about hydrosphere. It's from Unit 4 of Geography. Our planet Earth consists of four spheres. You know what are they? They are lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. So in this class, we are going to see about hydrosphere. The most indispensable nature resources on Earth is water. The Earth is also called as the blue planet. It consists of 71% of water and 29% of land. Over 97% of the water on the Earth's surface is confined to ocean. Less than 3% of water is held on land as glaciers, ice caps, groundwater, rivers, lakes, and so on. What is this hydrological cycle? The Earth's water is not static. This continuous movement of water on, above, and below the Earth's surface is called the hydrological cycle. Here we have three major processes. They are evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Fresh water. You all know that rainwater is the purest form of water as it contains very less proportion of salt when compared to the water of the ocean and the seas. Hence, rainwater is called as the fresh water. Oceans. The continents and oceans are not evenly distributed in the northern and southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, we have 61% of land and the remaining percentage is with water. Hence, we call the northern hemisphere as the land hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, there is 81% of water and the remaining is with land. So, we call the southern hemisphere as the water hemisphere. Oceans and seas are considered as the resource bowl of the earth. The relief of the ocean floor. The ocean basins are divided into the major relief features. The continental shelf, continental slope, continental rise, deep sea plain, oceanic deep, oceanic ridge. Now let's see them one by one. Continental shelf. A shallow and gently sloping platform extending out from the adjoining continental landmass into the sea is called the continental shelf. The continental shelf is of more importance. They are shallow and thus it enables sunlight to penetrate through the water. This encourages abundant growth of grass, seaweeds, and plankton. Hence, these zones become the richest fishing grounds. The continental shelf have extensive deposits of minerals and mineral fuels. Hence, this zone becomes accessible for oil drilling and mining activities. Example, Mumbai High in Arabian Sea. Continental slope, a steep slope which descends from the edge of the continental shelf to the deep ocean bed is called the continental slope. It forms a boundary between the continental crust and the oceanic crust. This zone is free from deposits as they are very steep. Continental rise. At the base of the continental slope is a very gently sloping layer of segments which merge into the deep sea floor. This underground feature found between the continental slope and the abyssal plain is called the continental rise. Deep sea plains. The deep sea plains are underwater plains found on the deep ocean floor. These plains extend from continental rise to the mid-oceanic ridges. These plains are usually covered by the thick layer of sediments composed of clay, silt, and sand brought by the rivers. Oceanic deep. Trenches are the deepest part of the ocean and occupy nearly 7% of the total relief of the ocean floor. The ocean temperature in the trench is slightly cooler than the freezing temperature. Most trenches are V-shaped with very steep sides. Oceanic ridges. Oceanic ridges is a continuous submarine mountain range. They are made of young basaltic rock formed when two tectonic plates move apart. Two of the most well-known mid-ocean ridges are the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and the East Pacific Ridge. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is the largest unbroken oceanic ridge. The movement of ocean water. The ocean water is dynamic. Temperature, salinity, density, external forces of the sun, moon, and the winds keep the ocean waters in movement both horizontally and vertically. Waves and currents are in horizontal motion while tides are in vertical motion. Waves. Of all the movements of the ocean, sea waves are considered to be the strongest. Sea waves are ripples on water caused when winds blow over the sea. The height of these waves depend on the speed of the wind, its duration, and the direction from which they blow. Sometimes waves are very destructive, which are felt on the ocean floor. This is called as tsunami. Do you remember when tsunami occurred? Tides. The periodic rise and fall of the sea water due to the gravitational pull of the sun and moon on earth are called tides. They are divided into spring tides and neap tides. What are spring tides? When the sun, moon, and the earth are in the same line, the collective gravitational pull of the sun and moon on Earth's surface strengthens to form a high tide known as spring tide. Such tides occur on full moon and new moon days. Neap tide, when the sun and moon are at right angles. Their gravitational forces work against each other, causing a low tide, which is called as neap tide. A neap tide occurs between two spring tides. That is, it occurs twice a month when the first and last quarter moon appears. This slide shows you the neap tide and the spring tide. High tides and low tides are felt in the same place. Can you see? The place is the same. And can you see the difference in the high tides and in the low tides? Ocean currents. The movement of oceanic water on the surface and at the depths in a definite direction is called as the ocean current. Ocean currents are in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. They move in the clockwise motion in the northern hemisphere and in the anti-clockwise motion in the southern hemisphere. The factors that generate ocean currents are Earth's rotation, prevailing winds, and differences in temperature and salinity of ocean water. On the basis of temperature, these ocean currents are classified as warm currents and cold currents. Marine resources. The biotic and abiotic resources found in the oceanic water and at the bottoms are called marine resources. A diverse array of marine organisms is used for food, medicine, cosmetic, and a wealth of industrial applications. The world's demand for energy, minerals, and water have become increasingly dependent on non-living marine resources. These marine resources are divided into energy resources, mineral resources, and biological resources. Oceans are the lifeblood of planet Earth and mankind. The humankind depends on the marine resources for its survival. They are essential for the economic prosperity, social well-being, and quality of life. Oceans have extensive deposits of oil reserves. Besides a major fishing ground, it helps in generating non-conventional energy, development of many ports and harbors for trade activities. Coastal tourism also attracts people around the world, thereby contributing to the economy of many countries. Thank you.